This absolute stupidity, it really surpasses everything. And I mean everything you've ever seen. On the advice of my best buddy Carsten from Oje Deutschland, I wanted to bring you today the political lightning bears that put everything, and I mean really everything, in the shade. In this video, we go from not so funny to the point where I almost wet my pants watching it.
Man, we can all be thankful to the Lord that we live in a country like the Federal Republic of Germany. Tell me off the top of your head 2, 3, 4, or 5 other countries where it's better than here in our country, the Federal Republic of Germany.
Switzerland, Japan, Hungary, Netherlands, Sweden, that's 5. Did he want more? I mean, I could fill 8 minutes with this video just naming countries that are much better off. Careful. I mean the countries, of course. If I worked in those countries the way I do here, just imagine how much money I would make. But let's move on to the next clip. And one thing, you would really support me a lot if you leave a like and subscribe to the video. That would really help this channel. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Not quite as funny yet.
Did I read that correctly, that you called Ms. Fernandez a slut, or did someone make that up?
You read that absolutely correctly.
Yeah, it's just dumb when you've already been arrested. What comes out now because of violence against her husband, and then stands up in Germany through a hate aid agency and badmouths him. I think in this case, we're going to see a lot more that will probably make us laugh too, because this case is so absurd. But I'll make a separate video about that next week or the week after. I've gathered quite a few facts about it. But to show something like that, especially on Austrian television, that's really, I have to say, pretty tough stuff. So now it's about to get really funny.
We were sitting in her small kitchen. She was making liverwurst sandwiches. Back then, my parents didn't even know what that was.
Thank you very much, liverwurst. Yes, as a Turkish person, liverwurst. Today I got some help from a guy named Mensker, who will explain everything to you now.
My wife Fatma and I want sausage, but not from pork. Are you messing with me or what?
Yeah, but you started it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's getting funnier and funnier. But then he said something else that I have to say really took it to the next level. And I have to say, I also met Turkish people because they were in my life quite early on. And I always knew, and even today, I have absolute respect for that when it comes to my own children. I give this, so when we have visitors and there are Turkish people, like when my daughter has visitors, yes, and there are Turks or Muslims among them, then we simply don't let them eat with us. In all other cases, we are hospitable and we offer them food, but in this case, we just don't have anything for them. Or we just ask nicely and then we get an answer. Because yes, some Muslims, I have to say, do eat pork because they are not religious at all, and we have them at home too. But now, well, he's really turning the tables, and then we get to the really awesome clips that I found in Germany.
They put people who are perceived as Muslim under general suspicion, people who look like me.
No, Mr. Kokak, I've also learned how to pronounce that now. We put people under general suspicion when they want to set other people on fire and even want to make TikTok or Instagram videos about it. Yes, we don't quite agree with these people. And when there are acts of violence out there, now every 16 minutes, and 75% of them are committed by migrants, by individual migrants who keep committing crimes again and again, then we put these people under general suspicion. And at some point, yes, we just get to the point where we say, now we're just going to kick everyone out. That's just going too far. But enough about that topic. Let's take another look at the crime statistics, and then you will never believe how many victims there actually have been in Ukraine. It's to the point where I almost wet my pants, but not out of fear.
But you do realize that foreign women in Germany are more violent than German men.
We can't really talk about the crime statistics because those are just the things that are actually recorded in the crime statistics. Yes, but all of that is still influenced by racial profiling.
Excuse me, what was linked there? Do you know this movie here? Mario Barth and Paul Panzer, yes. When Mario Barth tried to explain something to Paul Panzer who didn't get it and then said, mm-hmm. That's exactly it. That's what the leftists always do. Yeah, Rasha Plow, what's that? I've never heard of it. And now the clips you've been waiting for, the ones that are really explosive.
And they say it, Vladimir Putin, who kills 400,000 people every day.
Of course, we don't want to argue about the fact that lives are being lost in Ukraine. That's definitely true, and I don't want to make fun of that either. But that he simply wiped out 600 million people, that's definitely news to me. And here I have to step in a little bit. Because Europe alone has around 400 million people, so he wiped out all of Europe 1.5 times. How many people are actually still watching me in this video? Because actually, I should definitely be the last person here living in Europe. I mean, I'm definitely still alive. I don't know about you, but I'm still completely sane.
Vladimir Putin is a murderer, a killer who has sent hundreds of millions of people to their graves.
Whoa, that really makes me sick. I'll try to keep my nerves. He wiped out everything from Portugal to the end of Russia, from England to Cyprus. All the people are gone, even here. I keep thinking of that movie, 28 Days Later, where only a few people are left. Man, who believes something like that? Is there anyone, even at off 2, who doesn't eventually turn on the thing between their ears and think, hey, there aren't even that many people? By the way, a little anecdote, what happened back then until 1945 came from something. We're talking about between 40 and 65 million people who died because of this aggression. Yes, between 40 and 65 million, yes, and now he has made hundreds of millions, and we still have a housing shortage in Germany. I just don't get it, you know? I must be living in a completely different world.
I think that Boyle nur begrenzt Getreide ausgeführt wird, Ukraine. Having strong faith is a challenge, and I believe
if I now subtract the victims from Russia, yes, then I really have to tell you, Ukraine supplies this entire planet 10 times over. But I didn't even know that Ukraine provides aid to Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. Guys, Leute, you just can't explain that to normal thinking people anymore. Yeah, and it was on March 23rd, 2025. Have all the people out here already starved or not yet? That was my quick wit parade. I'll still come up with a name for it, but write your suggestions below. Whether you were at least able to laugh today on this Saturday morning that's absolutely rainy and cold outside, or if that's just not your thing and you had nothing to laugh about at all, I'd be really interested to know. Otherwise, this format comes up more often.